BCMG in South Florida. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
There's a light right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Well, it's a time. It's a time in this world where we have to take note as to where we are on our journey. We have to stand tall and really understand what is it that we want from our journey. Do you have an intention? You know, the hoopla of the new year, it's gone. And now's the time for us to tune in and really dig down deep and ask our heart, what do I want this year to look like? How do I want it to evolve? What's my goal? What's my intention? How can I create the life I want, regardless of what's going on in the world? How can I be centered in who I am, be true to myself, and embrace everything? You see, there's a reason why you are where you are. And yes, some of it is choices. We all make choices, and these choices open up the pathway to an experience that maybe we didn't anticipate everything that was coming. Maybe we need to reflect and see why we are where we are and what choice we could have done differently. Because some reflection often helps us direct the light forward so that we can see where we want to go and not put ourselves on a path that maybe leads to disappointment. I'm so fortunate to sit across from so many people on a regular basis, and it's fabulous to connect with people all across the globe and share information and really hear stories and hear the insight that Spirit gives each person. And many people feel that they've been through some tough times. And often they feel as if they made a choice that's irreparable. But that's never the case. You see, a choice is just a choice. And I'm reminded by Spirit that we're one decision away from changing our entire lives. And sometimes it's a right decision and a wrong decision. But ultimately, every decision opens up a test, a lesson, an experience, a harmony, a peace, a love, a financial reset. It can bring so much greatness to you. But how do you know what's the right choice? There we ponder. There we wonder, what is the right choice for me? How do I know? You have to be still. And that's something difficult for all of us. Being still and not really waiting to feel the feeling. We just push right through. We're pushing from one thing to another, and we just know we've got to complete the task in front of us because there are more tasks coming and there are things that have to be accomplished, bills to pay, people to meet, and expectations at work, chores in our home. There's just so much. But what is filling you? You know, we can all keep busy and do the things that need to be done. And we're not going to throw caution to the wind and tell you not to do what needs to be done. But when do you get the time to take the time to really decide what you need to do because it's what's best for you? How you feel. What makes you feel fulfilled? What would bring you joy? And what would be the great long-term vision to fulfill that vision that you have? We need to see and feel and not get distracted by things that are weighing us down and not lose our interest in staying connected and being distracted by what other people are talking about and putting emphasis on. Not everything is, well, what it appears to be. You have to know who you are, especially in a time of a world that is changing in ways that we cannot even predict. You need to know who you are, and you need to know what you want out of life. You need to expect great things to happen. And if your track record tells you that good things don't happen to you, then first and foremost, we need to change the voice in your head. Yes, maybe in the past something has disappointed you. Yes, maybe in the past you made a choice that didn't reach your expectation. Yes, in the past maybe somebody betrayed you. Yes, in the past maybe relationships have not been your forte. Yes, in the past you've made financial decisions that did not benefit you. Yes, in the past. Oh, and it goes on, doesn't it? But look at every experience from the past and take from the past and learn. What is the common denominator? Of course, besides you. Were you in a reactive state? Were you coming from emotion? Were you coming from your wounds? Were you feeling overwhelmed and you just had to do something because you were frozen in fear because of a situation that was going on around that time that caused you to make a choice that at the time looked good, but in the end didn't really help your situation or did not assist you in moving forward in the way you envisioned? We have to reflect. And then we have to dream. Somehow I feel like people have lost the ability to dream. You have to dream. You have to dream that there's something big coming for you. Something that you can accomplish. Something that is going to be part of your legacy. Something that fills your heart. Whatever the experience is, whatever you desire, it is there for you. Maybe when we were little, we thought we could do anything. Maybe. But somewhere along the way, an experience or a person told us that's not possible. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not whatever they said to you. And as those words echo in your head, you never forget them. And so even though as an adult you have the skill set and the vision, there's a little voice inside of you that says maybe you can't do it. And what if you don't do it? And if you don't do it right, then everything will fall apart. So why should you try just in case? Because look at your track record. And then the story goes on. Huh. What a story it can be. It's a time to really dig down deep. The hoopla of the new year is over. I don't know if you noticed, but we're breezing right through January like we did through 2025. So fasten your seatbelts, everyone. We are off to the spiritual races, as they say. And the world and time is marching on. So don't let this year pass you by. Yes, the world is changing. Yes, so much is going on, and you all can feel overwhelmed. Just look at the news. But don't let it grab you. Don't let it put a hook in you and derail you from ultimately where you need to be and who you are, because you were created for greatness. Maybe nobody's told you that yet lately, but you were created for greatness. And some people will say to me, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm great at. Then I'll say, let God show you. Or think of what you enjoy and find joy in that and harmony, and something will be born of it. Something will be created. Something will transform you and put you in the right place at the right time so that everything can align. We have to have a vision. What's the vision? And we have to have that conversation with God. We have to sit with God, and we have to really wait for answers. Not rush in where a fool would dare not go. You've got to wait for the answer. You've got to wrestle with it a bit. You've got to come to the understanding that all is meant to be. As it is, even all the bumps in the road, there's a reason for it. But now with your knowledge and your wisdom, you have the power to take it all and transform it. Just take a look. Where did you make a misstep? And recognize it, embrace it. And tell yourself, all right, that was then, this is now, and I'm going to be more mindful in my next choice. And choose. So many days I hear people say to me, they don't like their job, they hate their job, they don't want to be there. So I laugh and say, well, why are you there? Oh, that's right, we need a paycheck, we know. And it's never the guidance for people to just pick up and leave. But if you're not happy, then you need to look at why you're not happy, and you need to look to find a way to shift. Do we need to go to a different department? Do we need to change companies? Do we need to invest 2 years and study something else so that even though we don't enjoy the current job we're at, we can do anything for a short period of time, and in the short period of time, we will develop a new skill set, and that skill set will take you to ultimately where you want to go? Oh, but you don't have the money to study. You don't have the money for school. Then you need to get creative. You need to ask the universe to inspire you to find a way to get yourself to that school or to pay for that course or that certification. Oh, but I don't have anyone to watch my children when I have to go to school and then I have to go to work. That can be a little bit of an issue. But nothing's impossible. So maybe you change your work schedule, maybe you go to school online, maybe you take longer to go to school, you go to school on the weekend, and on the weekend maybe somebody helps you and stays with the children while you're gone on Saturday and Sunday, and you do it for a period of time. You can do anything for a short period of time, I promise you. And then you might say, but I have no one to ask. Someone will help you. We just think we don't have anyone. There are people who can help you. There are ways to get around the obstacles. There are people in exactly the same storyline you are in that is blocking you from doing what you think you'd like to do, and somehow they found a way to do it anyway. Does not make them better than you, does not make them different than you, only that they looked for a new way and got creative, and they didn't let the obstacles slow them down. But they put their shoes on 1 foot at a time, just like you. So what are you waiting for? You can change. Change how you start your day. Change the way you look at life. Get out in the sunlight and look at the moon and the stars at night and the sun in the morning and see the birds. Look at everything around you for just a minute. When was the last time you walked out your front door on your way to work, but instead of rushing to your car or looking at your phone as you were racing to your car, you stood there and took a look at the sky and you said, it's a beautiful world. I'm so grateful. How many of you do that? Do you know that you would change the total experience for the day? Your attitude would shift. Your blessings would come more easily. Your mood would be more inviting for people around you. It would all come together. What a wonderful world it would be. It would be fabulous. I know, but you've got kids to get in the car and you've got a deadline and you're always running late and forgetting something, and I know. Just look up. You're not losing that much time. And for the days that you have the time, those days that you sit and you feel the energy, and you notice what you notice and you embrace what's around you, then sit yourself down. Find a spot. Sit on the ground, sit on the sidewalk, sit on the curb. Find a bench. and just sit and take in the energy. And notice how everything in nature is in alignment and it is magnificent. Notice that everything is in harmony. And you're in a scurry-worry mentality that doesn't feel like you can find your way out. Very interesting. Is that really true, or is that how you imagine it to be because you're so down on yourself, or so concerned, or so worried, or you're looking at your past experiences and thinking it's the best you can do? Another thing I've realized as I sit across from people for all these years is people are content with being discontented. How can you be content with discontentment? Why do you allow yourself to feel that heaviness, that sorrow, that disappointment, and not think of a way to change? Because if you don't think of a way to change, if you don't drop down in your heart and feel the way to change, well then, nothing's going to change. It would literally take an act of God to change it. And sometimes God does do that. God does swoop in and shift and shake everything up just because you weren't ready and God needed you to be in a certain place at a certain time because there was more coming for you. Well, we can't always just wait and let something unexpected take us by surprise, because often that's uncomfortable. Because if you listen, if you're still, if you're sitting outside and you're feeling the energy, if you're embracing everything around you, then I promise you, you're going to hear the whisper, and the whisper's going to say, it's okay. We've got you. Everything's going to work out. You need to believe. And then you'll think of something. You'll get inspired. Or someone will make a suggestion and it'll hit you just right. And you'll think, that feels good. That sounds good. That might be the answer. And you never know unless you try. I remember a time when I wanted to move and I didn't know where I would go and just seemed overwhelming at the moment. And I went to the grocery store and somebody had posted that there was a place for rent. And I thought, maybe I should check it out. And then I thought of all the reasons why I shouldn't go check it out. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to move, and what if I had to move? I don't know how that would work, and I don't know. And I started to have all those thoughts in my head. And then I told myself in those thoughts to please be quiet. I picked up the phone and I asked someone to keep an eye on my son at the time. And I said to the babysitter, just keep an eye on him for a few minutes if you would. And she said, sure. And she helped me out and I went over. I remember when I first walked in, beautiful 2-family house. It was fabulous. It was in New Jersey. It was perfect. But I looked at all the people there and they were all filling out their applications. And I thought, well, all these people are here and they look like families and it's just me. And I thought of a reason why it couldn't possibly be me and why they wouldn't pick me. So I already had myself crisscrossed in my mind and not really sure how it was going to work. Well, I said, well, let me take a look anyway. And I didn't really want to fill out a paper and leave my information just right there on the table. That didn't seem right to me. So, and it kind of fed into the excuse I was telling myself that, I don't know, maybe it's not going to work out. This is way back in the day when I didn't know any better. But when God has something in mind for you, and you follow the prompting, and you push through the initial I don't know, you'd be surprised what could happen. And so there I was, walking around, and someone came up behind me. Turned out it was the owner. His name was Mike. And he's like, oh, do you like the place? And I said, yes, it's beautiful. He said, oh, come on out. Let me show you the yard. I'm thinking, he doesn't even know I didn't fill out an application, does he? He starts telling me how he and his girlfriend are going to get married. They live upstairs. They bought this house, and they're so excited. And they're looking to rent out to the bottom floor, and he asked me what I did, and I told him where I worked, and I worked right up the street, and I told him my position, and he complimented my car, and we talked about the car, and then he said, "You know what? I'll even let you have the garage for the same price." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah. Matter of fact, why don't I give it to you for this?" And he lowered it. He knew nothing about me. And he said, "I want to rent it to you." And I went, "What? Really? You want to rent it to me?" He said, "Yes." I was like, "All right. Well, that sounds great." I said, "Let me give you my card." I said, "I'm a firm believer that we need to sleep on it. And then in the morning, if you still feel the same way, call me in the morning. And you've got a deal." Because there was that part of me that was like, this is too good to be true. How is this happening? So I figure, all right, let's see if he calls me in the morning. First thing in the morning, I'm no sooner sitting at my desk. "Hello, this is Mike. Would you like to come over and make it official today?" I'm like, "Yes." So in one moment, on one sign, on a bulletin board in a Stop and Shop in New Jersey, my whole destiny changed. The answer to the problem that I had no clue how it was going to work came to me. And I thought, wow, I almost had myself in a mess. Had myself all worked up, all concerned, and God had the answer all along. God just needed me to see the sign, needed me to read it, needed me to wrestle within myself, and then come to the conclusion that I would take a chance. You see, I was one decision away from changing my life. And it was such a fabulous place to be. And it was actually the place I stayed for a while before I picked up and decided I would move here to Florida and then change my whole trajectory of my life. You see, it was all part of the story. It's all part of the connection. It's all part of the feelings that we get that prompt us. But I can assure you, we're all having conversations in our head that reject all the clues that say, do this, go here, because we're too consumed with what's worrying us. And we're not sitting down and saying, hey, God, it's me. I got a question. I got a concern. I don't know what to do. And I need an answer. And I kind of need it to be idiot-proof, because apparently I miss a lot of clues. And you know, I believe the universe laughs at our inability to center ourselves and really feel what we can do. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to come right back here for your phone calls. And we're going to start our first hour talking to God, because I've got a little Dear God commentary for you. And then 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
There's a light that opens doors for everyone.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Celebrating the power of music.
The True Oldies Channel.
Broadcasting worldwide from the TOC
music variety happens here. The TOC. The True Oldies Channel, where you can still hear the 60s.
I see that moon rising. It happens to be true. I only wanna be with you. She got the way to move me, There's a land that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light to open everyone to love. Love may hold the answer we are looking for. Love may open up another door of light. Oh, there's a light. Oh, there's a light. Open up in everyone. Can you feel it? There's a light to change the world. Won't you be a part of the light? Oh, love, it is the answer now, and we can see love. There's a light. There's a light that shines inside of me. Oh, there's a light. Oh, there's a light that shines inside of you. There's a light in me and you. There's
Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light, there's a light, there's a light right here on the True Oldies station, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that is me, Sarah Spiritual, answering all your questions from all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And I want to say howdy to our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for your questions and your comments. Keep them coming. We will be answering your questions and comments throughout the show. So we always love to see what you have to say. So pop it in the feed, share the page, share the like, share the love. And if you want to follow me, Sarah Spiritual, you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. You can follow me just about everywhere. Just type in Sarah Spiritual and it'll all come up. So go ahead. SarahSpiritual. That's right, Sarah Spiritual. That's the way to find me across social media. We are going to talk a bit because when I was teaching class last night, I had a lot of revelations and a lot of insight as to what this year really means for all of us. And I had this sense of Spirit, God, the angels, the guides, the Creator, the universe, all the energy, just looking for us to look for guidance. And as if not enough people are looking for guidance. Not enough people are opening their hearts. The hearts seem a little closed from what I'm getting. They're closed and really just concerned. And maybe there's a lot to be concerned about in the world. We're not going to act like it's not. A little crazy out there. But the world is evolving and history repeats itself and life has cycles and it's the evolution of humanity, and this is a very important time for humanity to make a change and to choose the way they want as a collective consciousness, we, all of us, to be. So, what if you sat down for a few minutes and you looked at the world and you thought, what's not working? And rather than get upset, because a lot of it isn't in your control, what if you sat down and you said something like this? Hey, dear God, it's me. Yeah, I know. I know it's been a while. I've been thinking. Things are really heating up. I'm not quite sure what's going on in the world. And I'm told that you, as a creator, have a plan. But I got to tell you, I'm not really seeing it right now. I'm not really sure even where I fit in. Everything's changing. I'm not ready for such big changes. I'm actually feeling a little nervous, a little anxious, a little afraid. And I have to admit, God, it's been building up for a very long time. But now I'm seeing things change in the world that I can't wrap my head around. How things are being run and even how the workforce is. You know, the movies of when I was growing up, well, it made me think that robots were coming, and now I'm afraid a robot's going to take my job. Or some AI program that maybe I don't even understand. And so I'm a little concerned what my future looks like. And I'm looking around at companies, I'm looking at jobs, and there's a lot of people losing jobs, and a lot of people looking for jobs, and a lot of jobs that are changing, and a lot of people sending in resumes. And back in the day when I would show up and I would get a call back really quick, no one's even looking at my resume, let alone calling me. Well, what do I do about that? And then I'm really concerned because everywhere I go, things cost money, and it's costing more money than I maybe think I have. And even though I've made it through tough times before, I don't know, God, it's seeming a little overwhelming. You see, I didn't plan for this, and I'm not sure how to handle it. And so I have to reach out because there's a lot going on in the family too. You see, the family's got problems within themselves. I've never seen my family act like this. They're arguing over things that I never imagined we'd argue over. And then a lot of people are suffering with their health. People I know, I love, I care about. I don't know how to help them. And it makes me feel helpless. And I don't have answers. I'm usually the person who has an answer. And suddenly, God, I don't have an answer. So I need some help, God. I need you to send the angels. I might need a miracle. I might need someone to give me a clue as to what to do next. Because everywhere I turn, things seem out of sorts and almost in a turmoil, and I don't know which fire to put out first. And then I've got my own things that I'm wrestling with, my own insecurities and my own fears and my own wish to have a different life and make things better for myself and the people around me. I just don't know how to get there, God. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed. And I'm feeling like you haven't heard me because I'm pretty sure I talked to you a few times and I didn't get an answer. And maybe I didn't ask right. Maybe I wasn't persistent enough. Or maybe I was just so filled with fear you tried to answer me and I didn't hear you. And you sent me a clue and I was too overwhelmed and dense to see the clue. So I need you to make it be a big one, God. I need you to show me beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're with me, and I need evidence. I need to know I've got angels and guides, and I need to know that all's going to be well. And I know as a human, I may not always be as grateful as I need to be. So, God, now that I finally sat down to have a talk with you, let me tell you this, God. I'm really grateful. And I thank you. And I realize that every day I should be grateful for what I do have. And that the things I fear, although they may be looming around the corner, they haven't gotten me. They haven't knocked me down. That's right, when I think about it, even though it looks like I'm going to fall, I guess you did answer me before, God, didn't you? Because all the things I really fear, the way I thought it would happen, it didn't really happen the way I thought it would happen. It got bumpy, and I thought you didn't hear me, but that's right, God. You did bail me out. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. And I know I've made some bad choices. I'd like to think everyone does. But God, I really need you now. I really need you, and I've got to tell you, I think the world needs you. The world needs you. So if you're not looking around and looking at the world as you see it, and I know you've got a plan and everything happens for a reason, but really, God, could you just help people find peace in their hearts and love? Can we just take whatever the chaos is and kind of right it? I know out of the chaos comes order, but could we speed that up? Because things are moving so fast and I don't feel like people feel happy anymore. And I know I want to be happy. Well, God, I thank you. And I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to make time to talk to you like this. Because it didn't really take that long, did it? And I have to admit, God, I feel better if I just gave it to you. I surrender. I'm giving it to you. I'm trusting the universe. And I'm going to try to choose some different things so you can give me some better options. I mean, isn't life kind of like a Chinese menu? We get a lot to choose from. So I think I'm going to choose a lot of different things. And we'll see where it takes us. Well, anyway, God, thanks so much for listening to me. I really, really needed this talk. And I think the world needed it too. So thank you. So I ask you, everyone, what's stopping you from having your own conversation? What's stopping you from sitting there and having a chat with the Creator, the universe, your guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side? Do you know they're waiting for us to talk to them? They've been waiting for you to talk to them for a while. Not just a quick sentence and you're done. A real conversation. And when you get the sense, when you get the feeling, then I'm going to tell you, listen to that feeling. Even I myself, there are times I think something in my head and I'm like, oh, I need to change this, or I need to do something different. Well, then I get this sense of, well, no, not yet. And then I realize it wasn't time for me to make the change. Not that I couldn't change, it just wasn't time. But maybe in my head, I had myself, oh, well, crazy for a minute. I wanted to just jump right in. And some of us, we jump in the pool, we don't even know if there's water there. So sit and have your conversation. Just like tonight, in this show, as we always do, we're going to talk to you. We're going to hear your thoughts, your feelings. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to share time with you on Facebook and YouTube. And you can find this conversation if you need something to pep you up. You can always find this on the replay on YouTube or on Facebook for as long as Facebook keeps it up. They have a timeline as to how long they would keep a post, but you can always go back in and hit play and record it on a device, and you've got whatever strikes your heart and your soul right there for you. Because besides answering questions, I'm here to make it easier for all of us, even if you don't pick up the phone and ask a question. But happy to know we've been answering questions for a really long time, since 2009. So we're going to go to our phone lines, and I'm going to find out what show number we're on, because we're climbing up there. So we're going to go to Davy. I've got Elaine and Davy. Davy, Elaine, how are you? And Davy, what's going on, Elaine?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Yes.
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Elaine,
yes, I have this
what is your question?
this problem. It seems like forever. What? Hello?
Yes, what's your question for us?
I wrote it down here. Do you think I have a chance of making things right and good with my friend again, or did I blow it?
Good question. What is your friend's birthday? Your friend seems a little stubborn to me. What's their birthday?
Let me see. I think it's February 10th.
Okay. Well, they're a little stormy. Yes, they kind of stormed off and like shut that door. Their guard is up right now, but no, you didn't blow it. You didn't blow it.
Okay.
You're in timeout, though. I'll tell you that. You're in punishment.
I believe it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
they're very different from who you are, and sometimes they don't always understand where you're coming from, and they can be a little narrow-minded, and they ruminate on things. They just play it over in their head, so they're off in the corner brooding, making themselves.
Well, I have too many friends. Yeah, too many friends trying to dissuade me from being his friend.
Well, you can't listen
And
to
I, and I
others.
listened.
You have to follow your heart. You know, there's a line that I'd like to quote for you, and it says, "Let your desires be spoken only unto God." Well, that's a pretty powerful line. In that line, does it say, call your friends, call your family, check in, get someone's opinion? No, because you have a sacred covenant and you know what's meant for you. And other people are going to see things about that person that maybe they don't like and it rubs them the wrong way. And maybe they envision you with a particular person or a particular lifestyle. And this person, well, they've got their own unique personality. They're really different. All right? So you've got to just relax. And next time, first of all, you have to remember, you have to follow what you want to do. And thank people. Say, thank you so much. I appreciate your input. I'll take that into consideration. But ultimately, the decision is mine. Right?
Yeah.
And you know, you saw something in him.
I'm getting mad at these people who are trying to influence me now. So
well,
I'm gonna,
they did it with the best of intentions, because people like to see
Yeah,
us
they did.
in an energy that's comfortable for them as well. They're not just doing it for you. It's what makes them feel comfortable when they're with you. And that person didn't make them feel comfortable, so they figured, oh, he's not good for you. Well, maybe he was exactly what you
Yeah.
needed for the moment. But give him some space. It'll work out.
Okay.
All right, Elaine, thank you
Okay,
so much.
appreciate
Thank you for
that.
holding. We appreciate you for calling and following the show. And enjoy this year and follow your heart. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions all across the nation. And this show is 797 live shows. So we are so glad to be hanging out with all of you. I'm going to go to Boca, and I've got Sandy on the line. Sandy, how are you tonight in Boca?
I'm doing okay. It's just a bit windy here.
It is windy. Yes,
You know,
indeed.
so,
Sandy, what's your
and I
question
can
for
relate
us
to
tonight?
my question to you is, who's around me in spirit? Because I got a lot of wind swirling around me, and people are acting like circus acts, and a circus I don't want to be in. It's not my monkey, not my circus. But I have a procedure coming up on Friday, and like I said, I'm not trying to rattle myself in regards to that aspect, regarding the other aspect going on in my life.
Right. Well, a lot of people are rattled in your immediate circle, and they're in a division between themselves, and they're trying to suck you up into the storyline. And as you said, not your circus, not your monkeys. So when I look around you, the first energy that I see here is a male energy connected to you, stands above you, has energy that makes me feel as if they are in the paternal side of the family. I really want to place them. Did Dad pass, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have Dad's energy above you. It's the male energy, paternal side with you. And I also see around you another male. And this person says that they're a brother, but I feel like it's a brother of your father. Is that your father's brother, please?
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay. So as I see them, they are standing there together for you. Also on the other side, we have a female energy above mother. This is your grandmother who steps forward for you as well.
Okay, I felt. Okay, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're showing up for you, and they're giving you signs, and they're letting you know that they're with you, and they don't want you to allow yourself to worry, because everything's going to be fine in the procedure, and you have to trust the choice you've made, and you need to know you're in good hands, and that the universe is going to support you through this procedure, and all will be well. And the quibble, the banter back and forth with the people around you, that's really just their personal issue. So allow them to figure it out for themselves. You remain calm, put yourself in the energy of light, and surround yourself and ask for the presence of Archangel Michael, the angel of protection, and also ask for the presence of Archangel Raphael. Raphael is the healing angel, and the healing angel will support you. All right? Sandy, we send you the best and lots of love and healing for your procedure. We know all will be well. Know your loved ones are with you. All right, and pay attention to any change that you find on the ground, kind of like pennies from heaven. That's a signal from your loved one on your male side of the family. All right?
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.
I look forward to that as well. Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. If you'd like to see me, Sarah Spiritual, if you'd like to sit with me, I think you can find me at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. There you find an array of spiritual products that assist you on your journey. We've got books, we've got crystals, we've got oils, we've got mists, we've got crystal jewelry, we've got fairies, we've got Buddhas, we've got so many things to facilitate and assist you in your manifestation process. We have singing bowls. There's so much there for you to find. And most of the products are handmade by me. So it's quite an interesting mix of things that we have available for you to assist you. And there I do my personal readings. If you'd like a reading with me in person, at the Expedito Enlightenment Center is where you'll find me. And if you're not local here to South Florida, don't worry. You can still connect with me through a video or a phone session. All you have to do is go to sarahspiritual.com and you'll get all the information you need to connect you and I so that we can have a conversation with the divine. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to go to the phone lines, and I sure hope I hear from you at 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free. 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and if you're joining us on Facebook and YouTube, get your questions in the feed. We want to talk to you, and we'll be doing that in just a few minutes. Love to hear your comments. Love to see your questions in our Facebook feed. So we're going to go back to the phone lines, and I've got to go to Bobby. Bobby is in Coconut Creek. Bobby, how are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
And my question is, because I've struggled with a relationship with God, and when I got your email about, dear God, it's me, I'm like, I really want to start a new relationship with God. I got a swing for Christmas. My mom got me a swing for Christmas, and, is it okay for me to talk to God like I'm talking to you? And can I talk to God while I'm sitting on the swing? And can I invite God to watch The Price is Right with me tonight after your show's over?
Well, here's the best part of it all. God's been watching The Price is Right for a really long time, Bobby. So, you see, here's how God works. God sees through us. We are the vehicle of expression of God. So we are the catalyst of the energy of God. Now, as humans, we might not always process that energy to its fullest capacity, but God is always acting through us. So that energy is there when you're watching The Price is Right. It's there when you're on the swing. It's there when you're just, sitting in your chair and just wondering what to do next, or, what you are feeling and contemplating things. God's there. Now, is it even stronger when we invite God to be a part of the conversation? Absolutely. You see, it's when we invite God to participate and we act like the innocence of a child, playfully, joyfully, harmonically, opening up our hearts and really just bearing our souls. You see, the only person who's really privy to your soul contract, that really knows why you're going through what you're going through, the real reason behind it, is God. So who better to talk to? Because we could sit with a relative and say, I don't understand why this happened to me. Why me? But if you ask that question of God, even if you may not understand all the ins and outs, you would get a sense of peace. You would get a sense of understanding. You would come to realize that even though there may be something going on that's disrupting you, it's being used for a greater, better purpose for you, even though you may not be able to see it. That is the beauty of the connection. And the more you invite the presence of God in, the more you talk to the universe, the more you talk to your angels, the stronger you feel their vibration. And it's almost as if you can feel the push of their energy moving you along through a particular experience. And almost saying, you see, that's why we wanted you to do that. We're with you. So of course, any television show you want, anything you're doing, no matter how trivial it may seem, and do you talk to God the way you and I are talking? Absolutely. Because you're human. And we are here to experience the human experience. And the human experience is one of God's ultimate tests for us. Because think about it. We are created in God's image, yet we come down in this dense body with emotions and physical things that happen to our bodies, and physical experiences with people and problems and issues and things that are out of our control. And yet we just came from a place of peace and harmony that was a spirit being that was us. And then God said, I choose you to go to the toughest planet to experience life because I believe in you. And I know you're capable of learning and growing from everything that life in the physical form throws you. And not only will I, God, be your cheerleader, but I'm going to be experiencing it with you. And if you invite me in, and if you allow me to be with you, then you're going to feel me even stronger, and you're going to know no matter what's going on, You're not walking alone. And if you don't invite me in, then I'll be there in the distance to kind of cheer you on and send you some positive vibes and maybe pick you up when you fall. Because I'm never far away, because there's a cord of energy that connects you to God, connects the two of you always. And you determine how free-flowing that energy can be. So of course, talk to God. Of course,
Wow,
make it your conversation.
And is it okay for me? I've read some of Neil Donald Walsh's books, like on Audible, like Conversations with God and Friendship with God and stuff like that. And I love those books. And I was wondering, is it okay for me to really read those books and maybe perhaps see myself in the room with Neil talking with God and maybe even becoming part of that conversation?
Well, yes, because here's the best part. Maybe you didn't think of it this way. Maybe none of our listeners have thought of it this way. But we are all talking to God almost at the same time. Because you may be talking at 7 o'clock at night, right? We're talking to God at 7:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in South Florida, but people are hearing it at different time zones at this moment. And then there's someone else who just got in from their day and they just sat down and they're crying because they didn't have a good day and they're talking to God. You see, so you can envision many people in the world sitting there with you talking to God. Because they are. And I'm going to tell you this, that your concerns, your worries, your questions, your feelings, your gratitude, everything that you feel as a human, someone else is feeling the exact same things at the exact same time. And why is that? Because we are the collected consciousness, the expression of God in a collective mass of energy. We think of ourselves as separate because we're in different bodies and they don't all look the same. We don't all get along. In our physical experience, we have our own opinions, we have our own intellect, and we're busy judging and comparing. But we're created of the same flow of energy, the same spark of dust that created you, created me. And my contract is different than your contract, but each spark of dust is programmed. That seed of life is programmed with its own storyline. But each person's story is connected together by a thread of energy, the tapestry of life. And so, yes, see Neil sitting there with you and see other people from other parts of the world sitting in a circle and pouring their heart out to God and feeling the same things you're feeling, because you're not alone in your struggles and your challenges. There are others who have the same things going on in their life. Maybe you haven't met them, but they're having the same talks you are.
And at 7:37 p.m. tonight, I have a new relationship with God, and I'm going to put it down so I always remember it.
Well, then, I think we've done a good job here tonight, Bobby, because that's what it's all about, right? Connecting heart to heart, soul to soul, transforming each other, and really connecting the dots. That we're not as separate, we're not as divided as we think we are, or maybe we're told we are. And we have the power to change that, not just individually, but as a collective conscious group in this world. Together, we can all make a difference.
Cool.
All right,
thank
Bobby,
you
we
so much for all
appreciate
your help, Sarah. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, and we appreciate you, and thank you so much for listening to the show, as I know you do, and we know it's going to be a good year for you. It's really a year of good connections with people and really new experiences, and you enjoy that swing and really just feel the feeling of just that rush of movement that happens when you're on a swing, and enjoy it. Thanks so much, Bobby.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247 from Coconut Creek and Talking to Bobby. We got to pop around here, and we're going to go pop to Susan in Wellington. Susan in Wellington, how are you tonight? Good to have you here on our phone lines at Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. So happy to make this connection.
Very good. Well, I'm actually trying to help someone else, and all the classes and everything I've had is I've wrapped this person in violet flame, and I'm trying to disconnect and just observe what I'm seeing. But here's the issue that I would like to have some input. This person, I said, when there's mental health issues, for example, adult ADHD is causing difficulty in handling multiple issues in their life with the family and children and work and all kinds of things. And I'm trying to get across what is the best way for this person to disconnect from the stress and observe rather than ingesting the worry and the frustration and being overwhelmed. I mean, when I talk to this person, it's, I said what I know, but I don't know that I'm maybe giving the correct steps to, to be the observer and to let it go, because it's actually partially a health issue neurologically. So,
correct.
Any suggestions?
Yes, they are feeling very overstimulated when things come at them, and they really don't have the capacity to handle a lot of different things that are unexpected. You see, when they're multitasking and they're doing things that they direct themselves to do to kind of keep their own rhythm within themselves, they manage well. But it's when things unexpectedly are catching them off guard, they're not unable to process it, right? So they feel this misfire in their brain. So the very best thing for them to do is that when they feel overwhelmed, to have them just first sit and take a breath and just breathe in and exhale, and have them stop and pause and just say, I am. And then breathe and say, I am. And breathe and say, I am. And keep saying, I am, I am, I am, I am. And when we say I am, we lower our energy that is stimulated by the world, and we align ourselves with the frequency that is of the universe, of the divine presence. And that will give them a little bit more of a centeredness. And then they need to take everything, and as they observe it, they have to just step back and say, what's the one thing I feel I can handle at this moment? And they just have to choose that one thing and disregard everything else that's going on. Just pick one thing. And because ideally we have them breathe and they're feeling more centered, they should be able to, the first thing that pops up, bam, in their mind, I'm going to tackle this, or I'm going to talk to this person, or I'm going to shut myself off from this because it doesn't feel right, and I'm going to stop letting it dig in me. They're going to be able to put that wall up and stop it, or they're going to be able to take action. It's hard for someone to be an observer who is unable to quiet their mind. So you're right to do the work for them and put them in the energy that transmutes and negates the disruption and the overstimulation. But they themselves have to take a look at it. And if they have a chance to remove themselves completely and then write down the pros and cons of everything going on and really kind of rationalize it, because the person is very intelligent. It's not that they're lacking in intelligence. It's just their ability to discern and cope with the different things that are firing at them. Much like, and I used this analogy last night in class, a duck in a shooting gallery. There's a lot coming at them. So they can't discern what's most important to handle. So that's why we give you these tips. Did that give you some insight, Susan?
Okay. Yes, that does. I just, it's like I say, I didn't know where to start except for what I already knew, and I just didn't feel like it was enough. I felt helpless there. So, no,
Yes.
you've been most, I think that's for anyone, regardless of whether they have that mental condition or not. So many people go off in tangents in different directions without really backing off and knowing what to do to back off. So when you get angry.
Yes.
So you've been most helpful as always. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Susan, for listening to the show and participating at our functions at the center, our classes. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. We're going to pop off to a commercial. Then when we come back, we've got to visit our friends on Facebook, YouTube. We've got to get to Deerfield, Massachusetts, Vermont. Oh, my goodness, it's got to be chilly in Vermont. We got to get around, folks. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we're welcoming your calls at 866-972-7247. We've got friends on Facebook. I hope you're putting your questions and comments in the feed. I sure can't wait to talk to you. So we're going to pop up a question on Facebook and YouTube. And while we're doing that, I'm going to run on over to Deerfield on the phone, and we're going to talk to Marty. Marty, how are you tonight?
Hi, how are you? Good evening and
Good
Happy New
evening.
Year.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for your call. How did you hear about the show?
So I actually came across you probably about a month or so ago, and I tried to call in, but it was just right before you ended the show. So unfortunately, we were unable to speak. But I happened to just have you 95.3 on my radio, listening in the car, and I was like, oh, and it really struck me. The conversation you guys, or the topic that was for that evening. And I actually was listening to you earlier before I got home as you were talking about reflection on the choices that we make or that we have made. And it resonated with me because I have made some choices that unfortunately never were, I don't want to say never, but just did not turn out as I was hoping for. And I don't know if I necessarily have a question per se. It's just more of at one point, from the connections that we're making to God and our spirituality, at what point do they actually come back to us to help us? I feel like I've been, taking one step forward and then like two steps back. Yeah. And I try to have a positive attitude. I try not to think or dwell on the negative. I do reflect on past decisions that unfortunately did not work out to what I thought they would be. So it's just I'm in a little bit of a gray area, I guess you could say.
Yeah, a little gray area, a little conundrum here. So
yeah,
we have that free will choice, right? And what's always presented to us, Marty, are different avenues. But the interesting thing that governs our thoughts and our choices is often linked to our inner belief and who we are and who we were trained to be early on. And I feel like some of the choices you've made have been in expectations around people and hoping people would be different than they were. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I see that. So when I see that, the first thing Spirit tells me is that, we need to go back in time. And I do a work called soul integration, which I really encourage you to read about on my website and even watch a clip from a show where we talked about going back in time and gathering the orphans who don't feel good enough or worthy. Because inevitably, you are attracting people, unbeknownst to your intellectually fully conscious mind that is acting in a way that you think is a good path. There is a signal coming from within. That's this aspect of you that doesn't feel good enough or worthy and is actually sending out a signal to attract people who are not available for you or emotionally not present or are going to betray you because they are seeing you as someone who they can count on and literally suck energy from. And you are putting yourself out there in your wholeness and your beauty and your thinking from a little broken perspective inside that is almost this magnet that says, if I could take this person, because I see them as they could be, and if I could take this person and I could have them love me and see me for who I am and them not change their demeanor, not disappoint me, then I will have proven my worth. And that is the orphan inside that is attracting that experience. And so what God does, God heard you, and that's how you got to me. Because now we can learn a skill set that you can literally stop, drop, and roll and really come to understand who inside of me feels uncomfortable, who inside of me is willing to settle for people who don't honor me. Who inside of me has an expectation that is greater than who the person is showing me and telling me who they are? And why am I so willing to sacrifice the essence of me for someone who is not willing to do anything for me? And we come to that understanding, and then you build this frequency. And this frequency, as you understand who you are, then begins to send out a different signal. Because this is one of your lessons in this life. So God heard you when you signed the contract before your soul came down. And the contract was like, Marty, you're going to learn to love yourself, and you're going to help a lot of people in the process, and you're going to do it from a whole loving heart. But then that heart is going to hurt because they're not going to be able to reciprocate. And you're going to keep doing it again until you realize that it doesn't mean you can't help people and honor people and be kind to people, but it also means that you have to come to love yourself in the process so that you don't forsake yourself. You're forsaking you. In work scenarios, in personal scenarios, it's not just limited to relationships. So you are being heard. So the statement you make or the question you ask in the conversation is, how can we make this easier for me, God? How can you help me identify the people who are not of the highest vibration and don't belong to me? They don't have my best interest at heart. How can we shift the energetic dynamic in the workplace so I can be appreciated more and I can get what I desire for my pay or for the role that I'm worthy of? How can I feel more comfortable in my aloneness and understand what's most important to me in that time so that I can move forward and attract all that I want? And you ask God to give you a sign. And then ideally, I'd love to, whether you want to do it in person at my center in West Palm Beach or via video, we can do that. You just go to sarahspiritual.com. I know you'll find it most relieving. I just did one with someone just the other day, and she's been through quite a bit. And there's such an amazing shift that happens. And we begin to see people through a different lens. And it's like, oh, okay, I know what kind of character you are. And it's not to judge them. It's just like, oh, that's just an unhealthy choice for me. And I can see it now.
And I'm, it's interesting because I'm kind of like my grandmother, where I always see the good in people. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that vision of when you're seeing somebody and you're like, oh, they're good, they're telling me good things, or they're telling me the truth. And I don't want to say I felt victim, but I fell for what I thought they were telling me was true. And it's been like a journey for me over the last so many years. And last year, unfortunately, I was very ill. I was in the hospital for almost 3 months, and I've just been trying to refresh, reset, look at things a little bit differently. But I'm also one of those constant learners where I'm constantly looking at things as, like you had mentioned, I think between your 6 and 7 o'clock hour earlier, you were talking about walking outside and just even looking at, the sky, looking before you get in the car, looking at the beauty of things. And I do try to do that. I really do. And I try not to look at the negative in people, but it's hard for me to see when people might be taking advantage of my openness.
Yes, Marty, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I've got to go to commercial break. Take a breath. Hold on. Don't hang up. When we come back, we're going to get right back to this conversation. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
That opens doors forever.
104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we're welcoming your phone calls. And matter of fact, we were just on a call. Had to take a commercial break, but we're back. And we're going to go back to Marty in Deerfield. Marty, are you there?
I am still here.
Great. So before we went to commercial, you were talking about your grandmother always saw the good in people. And you're a lot like your grandmother, and you want to see the good in people. But sometimes we also need to see who they really are. You know, we need to see their conditioned behavior. We need to recognize their energy. And we need to take note that they may be a good person, but that doesn't mean they're the right good person for you.
Correct.
And that's where we have to draw the line. And we have to trust that once we integrate your little girl inside and she comes to the understanding that she is worthy and she is good enough and she is love, and that you're going to parent her and we're going to work with 12 archangels to assist you in achieving that, then we know that you're going to see a person and go, oh, I know you're a good person, but you're not my project. People should not be your project. And you've had a lot of projects.
I've definitely had a lot of projects.
You have. But you learned.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I said you learned. You learned from that experience. And, you know, they've shown you, you know, how you can bounce back. But now you're tired. You just want to be who you are and not have to worry for the other shoe to drop. And that's understandable. And I can tell you, based on where you are in the journey of your life, as I look at your birthday and I look at where you're going in this year of 2026, it's really a good time for you to get your life in better order and balance. You've been out of balance off and on for a while, and this year kind of puts you in this energy of rightness. You know, First Spirit takes me back in a date, and they take me back to 2022, and they say transition, change, challenge, and then they go back and they go back even further. And they take me back to 2012 into 2013. And they say, that was another metamorphosis time for you. And you're like, okay, I've had enough rebirths. So you want it to work out better. But, you know, and there's moments in time, and each one of these have been an up-leveling for you. But I really feel that when I look at your spirit, your soul, your energy, I really feel like you're tired. And not that you're disappointed in yourself, but you're just disappointed in life. That life doesn't seem to have that gift that you thought that it's supposed to have for everybody. And it is there for everyone. It's just you haven't picked the right present under the tree yet. So we need to help you pick the right present.
It's interesting you say that, because in 2013 is when I got divorced, or the divorce became official. I also, in 2013, was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And then fast forward, I think, to when you mentioned about 2022, I wound up getting very ill. And I wound up having what's called a colostomy. And so I had to kind of like shift gears, and I was laid off, and it was like a lot. So you bringing up those years really, truly resonates with what has happened in my past. I'm not tired from I'm going to continue to fight, and I'm going to continue to push forward, but I'm tired from can I just enjoy life? I just want to enjoy life. I want to be able to do what I want to do.
Correct.
So it's just been a very interesting chapter or chapters of my life.
Yes, it has. And I'm going to tell you, even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, but I will tell you that a lot of your physical ailments are tied to your emotional pain.
Yes.
And if we can, again, navigate the pathway for your little one to be integrated, it's going to make a tremendous difference, because, you know, you just don't feel like you can be in the rhythm and the flow of life. And somehow you've always felt boxed in and not felt like you could be your true authentic self, and things kind of built up and then caused issues within the physical body. And so now we right the emotional self, we right the spiritual self, and then the emotional body should calm down and get in a better rhythm. And that's what this year's about, a better rhythm, routine, And then as we move you into 2027, which I don't know, but I think it's going to be here fast, 2027 is really the time where we're really fully empowered and connected in relationship. We have choices. We're on track. So all the work you do this year opens up some doorways, and that doesn't mean someone may not pop in prior to the end of 2026, but I do see that 2027, we really feel like we're in this creative space, and we finally broke what almost feels like a negative curse on you because you just can't seem to catch a break. Although that is not the case, I can assure you, but that's the feeling, like, okay, can I catch a break? And you will catch a break. Marty, we hope we've been of service to you today. I do have to pop off for some other calls.
No, I've listened to you a few times, and I love just the messaging that you're coming across. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, honey. God bless you. And we know it'll be a good year. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you so much.
866-972-7247. I got to go to Massachusetts. I've got Willie on the line. Willie, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you tonight. And as I look at where you are in this journey, it is definitely a time for you to consider what isn't working for you and what do you need to change so that you can really step into your fullest power and your fullest desires, because this is the year that closes out things that are just part of the mundane areas of life and really transports you to the things that bring you more joy and happiness and more success and better finances. With that said, Willie, what is your question for me?
It is pretty much in follow-up to what you just said. So I've been doing a lot of reflection about career, and I started a new job almost 1 year ago, actually. And, I'm thankful for the job, and it's been going well, but I've been a little unsettled there over the last few months. And specifically, it's the way in which I'm having to show up, guide, direct, and update people. It's just a lot more than I could have ever anticipated. And it's just a lot of leadership, quite frankly. And that's the word that kept coming up, leadership. And I've been just feeling like, well, if I have to show up with this level of leadership, I probably should be in a role and have a salary that reflects this higher level of leadership. And that word just continued to be in my universe, even as recent as last night while in class with you. My life path number for this year was one that was defined by fresh leadership in a new direction. So when I heard you say that, I was like, this is the leadership theme again. So my question to you is it time for a career change, even just after a year of where I've been, or do I stay put for a bit and wait for something else? I'm just not sure how to navigate the next few months.
Great. And also, we know sometimes when things feel a little uncomfortable, there's a restlessness that builds up inside of you, right? That's inherently who you are, right? And you're like, okay, time to bounce, right? So it's not to jump, because I do not feel that you have a clear enough feeling, idea of what the type of leadership role would be that would generate a higher pay, that would make you feel rewarded and not smothered by having to manage so many people and projects. So we have to look at what would be the ideal scenario of a leadership for you. And I would really contemplate and write it down. And then I would look at all the skills that you bring to the table and match it up with what you want your role to be. And now you need to find an organization that has the proper environment where leadership is not defined as babysit. We really want an organization that has an interest in building strong leaders, supporting the leaders they have, and has a great support system for everyone. And there's the proper hierarchy and trickle-down effect that doesn't leave you overwhelmed. Because even though you're doing more than you anticipated in this role, there is still a level of flexibility that it affords you.
Yes.
So you love flexibility. And knowing that the work environment is changing in corporations across the country and even in the world, you want to really take a look at, if I made a shift, what organization would offer me the type of leadership role I would desire, but also not just the environment, but the stability of not just the organization, but the actual role you wish to step into. So we have to look at that. And we need to envision. So we say, look, don't leap. Await the month of April. April is this new beginning energy of spring. We will have a better understanding of the indicators that will be governing 2026 from a world stage perspective. We will have bypassed the Mercury retrograde, that's between the middle of February into the middle of March. And we will have several months before the next retrograde, and we'll have some good energy in the planets in April and May that should be very supportive for you, so that by, ideally before your birthday, you will be somewhere else.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sounds like a plan. It'll work out. You'll see.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thanks so much for listening to the show, Willie. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for taking our class. We appreciate that as well. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. If you'd like to take a Sarah Spiritual class, we'd love to have you. You can go to sarahspiritual.com. There you'll find our latest class, and our next class up is February 3rd. It is our spiritual energetic protection class. Do you want to know how to clear your energy and how to not feel as if you're drained when you go out into the world, or maybe hang out in your office and you've got some people in the office that are, their energy's kind of heavy, and you're thinking, good God, did I have to sit next to this person in my cubicle? What is the world coming to? Well, we're going to teach you how to keep your energy clear, how to not be affected by all these electronic devices, says the woman who is sitting in front of cameras and lights and magnetic electric things herself. I've got to seal myself off and make sure the energy doesn't mess with the energy that I use to connect to the divine, because it is an electromagnetic field that I've got to go through in order to make the connection to spirit. So we want you at our class, the Spiritual Energetic Protection class. It is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. The cost is only $16. It is available online or live in the center in West Palm Beach. So go register at sarahspiritual.com. We would love to have you. And speaking online, I've got to visit my friends online, my Facebook friends, my YouTube friends. Let's see what's going on in the conversation. And if you're on hold on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, don't go away. We're going to rock around the country and get a chat with all of you. Let's see here. We've got Brenda Duarte. And Brenda Duarte says, does my best friend have a message for me? Her friend passed, and she gives me the birthday. And you know what? I see, Brenda, this person was the other piece of you. This person was someone who was truly meant to be with you for a lifetime. I realize, Brenda, they passed before their time. We were not expecting them to pass at such a young age, and it is something that has left an empty hole in your heart. Know that when you talk to them, they hear you, they feel you. And they're also talking to me about an article of clothing, a shirt that you have of this person, your person. So whatever you do, make sure you sustain that connection with the shirt. The shirt is a connection that brings you close to this person, and keep it close to you. And I know that they will visit you soon, because as I look at the energy and as we approach the birthday time for them, it'll be a window of opportunity for them to appear to you in a dream. I know that your heart feels broken, and it will heal, and they will do their best to give you that clarity that they are always with you. Just talk to them. They're right there. Thank you, Brenda Duarte. We're sorry for your loss. We are going to take another question from Facebook and YouTube. Let's take a look here. We have Alexia in SC. And so Alexia is saying, hey, since 2018, it's really been a tough time. And I can attest to that because Alexia has been asking questions here on our Facebook feed for quite a while. And, she needs a message. How can she understand how things are going to start to look better and work out better for work and such? So I can tell you this, that this year for you represents a lot of expansion and growth. And I do feel that you're not being honored and recognized for what you bring to the table in your work. And because of that, you're not really being sufficiently accommodated financially. And I feel like there's another role that should come for you. If you're not finding that they are treating you with the respect and the financial reward that you deserve, then it is time for you, Alexia, to step into the choice of, I need to make a change, because if I keep doing the same thing, nothing's going to change, and that's the definition of insanity. So we suggest that you take a look at the roles that are there. If something doesn't open up for you, then give thought and consideration as to where you can go and begin your search until you find something that is solid and dependable and really recognizes your talents that you bring to the table. And in this year of expansion, I can tell you that in the month of March, I do feel that there should be some extra money coming to you. Don't know if it's a raise from a review or some type of bonus, but there is money that is supposed to come to you. And it is going to help you financially where I know that you're feeling a little bit behind. We give you the best of energy so that you can make the shift, choose to change. Change will make a difference. Thank you so much for your Facebook question. Let's take one more from Facebook and YouTube before we go back to our phone lines. Let's see who we have here on our screen right now. We have Anne Swantek. And Anne says, any message? She's asking for a connection to her mom. And she gives me her mom's birthday, anything she wants me to know, or any message from God. So, Anne, here's the best part of what I see here around this energy. When I look at this energy for you, it is a time for you to remember how powerful and special you are. It is a time for the recognition of the great heart that you have, the energy that you shared with your mom, and the connection that you had. The two of you had a very powerful connection. You were almost more like friends and then mother and daughter. And your mom makes me feel very grateful, so I'm filled with gratitude, as if you did quite a bit for her before she passed, and she wants you to know that she appreciates you and she thanks you for that. And she is also making me aware that when it comes time for you to make a change in your life, because I feel like this year is going to offer you a shift, a change, maybe even a possible move for you, Anne. Whatever change you choose to make, your mom's going to be right there with you. She's also bringing to me a ring that she had, and so she's showing me a ring indicating that you have her ring that meant a lot to her. So she's showing me that, and she sends you much love and gratitude for all that you did and the connection you had as a beautiful daughter to her. The universe is supporting you, Anne. Be open to make the changes that you want. And if you're thinking of making a move or rearranging some things in your home so that it feels better and opens up the energy and you feel more comfortable, please do that, because the shift will do you good. Thank you so much for your Facebook question. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Maria. We've got Maria in Vermont. Maria, how are you tonight?
Hi, I've been better.
Well, we want to know, how are you and what's going on and how can we assist you tonight? If we've been better, well, then let's get you even better. So let's see what's going on, Maria. One thing they want me to talk about is they talk about finances, and they make me feel like you're looking at your finances and you're trying to get a handle on that. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're out of sorts right now, and so that's concerning you. And we're also feeling a little bit off in our health. Yes, we're feeling tired and restless. Is that also true, Maria?
Oh, I've been home with the flu for the past 2 days.
Oh, goodness. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
That'll do it to you. Yes, we are so sorry that
But I wanted
pesky
to
little
add,
thing caught you.
and this
Yes.
is in relation to finance, because over the past 3 years, I've broken my arm twice.
Wow.
The left one and then the right one.
Ooh.
This is what's giving me financial issues, and now I'm sitting home with flu as well. So, yeah, I don't see that. I don't know where the mortgage is coming from this month, and Yeah, I just don't see how my life is going to go.
Well, you might not know where it's going to come from, but there are ways around that. There might be a way to make a phone call and make an arrangement. There's ways to buy some time for things to shift. And what in your life feels, this is what I hear from Spirit, with regard to broken arms. What in your life feels out of reach, that doesn't allow you to pull yourself up? Well, how do you feel stuck? Because when your arms are broken, then we can't make any maneuvers at all. Not only can't you work, but it's very uncomfortable, awkward. We can't function in our normal day-to-day basic activities. So where do you feel stuck in life? Preceding the broken arm, you have to reflect and say, where did I feel stuck before I broke my arm? And how did I not feel like I could reach for what I wanted? And who inside of me doesn't feel worthy of what I want, right? And so that's an energy, that's a methodology that we use to kind of shift our consciousness. And in the meantime, now we have to get on the phone and we need to talk to the mortgage company and we need to see what we can arrange. And, even though we may say, I don't know anybody and I don't know who could help me, you need to sit, you need to ask the universe to either give you someone in your mind that you can reach out and say, hey, I need some assistance. We can't be too proud to ask, or we need to manifest something unexpected. There are ways that money can come to us if we do something different. What can we sell online? What can we do to increase a chance of getting some money? Maybe you see a number on a license plate and you play it and you say, what have I got to lose? But you might win $1,000 and that may help you for right where you are. You have to be open to other possibilities.
Yeah, nobody seems to be buying online. I do have a number of things posted. The only thing that went was my propane heat stove. But okay. I don't know. I don't feel like I was feeling stuck the first time I broke my arm. I don't know. One of my worries about it was that I had started praying regularly, finally, in my life. And each time I broke my arm, it seems that was when I waned and stopped praying. And for a long time, I was afraid to pray again because I don't want to stop and get hurt again.
Well, the praying.
Am I just feeling lost? I don't know.
Yeah. When you have your conversation with God, it's a steady conversation. We have all these conversations in our head with ourselves, right? What am I going to do? I don't know. We go back and forth. So have that same conversation with God and thank God for the blessings and ask God to open up a door that's a miracle that makes this journey easier for you. And you're not being punished. I know that for sure. And perhaps your praying is keeping away some heavy energy, some negative energy that when you stop it, it's almost like, oh, we've got her now. There is negative energy on the planet, and it is highly intelligent. It's not something we love to talk about, but it does exist. So that's why we pray. We pray for the benefits of the protection and ask Archangel Michael to protect you and ask your guardian angel to be with you. It doesn't have to be a 10-minute prayer. It can just be a simple little ask, a conversation, a thank you. Thank you for what I do have, and thank you for my ability to post the things I have on the internet for them to sell, and now bring the right person at the right time to make the purchase so that I can have some other money flow to me. And something will happen. Don't be afraid to pray.
As I was sitting here yesterday, feeling absolutely horrible, I prayed to the angels to help me heal, and I seemed to see the face of Jesus in my third eye, but it wasn't how I expected. It wasn't like all glistening and light and just sort of a dark brown face. Mm-hmm. So I'm having doubts about that. Do you think I was seeing Jesus?
There's no reason why you weren't.
Yeah.
We have to lose this notion of what we've been conditioned to believe these beings of light and these master teachers who've walked the earth before us look like. We've been told that that's what they look like, or we have pictures that say he looks a particular way and he's got blonde hair and blue eyes, but if you take the region from where he was born, according to the story, he most likely, his skin was a little darker than some blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. So,
Yep.
And it's not about the look, it's about the connection. And even though you didn't see what you expected, which God is always full of surprises, as long as you felt like you made a connection and you had a sense of peace and that we weren't fearful, then there we have the presence of God.
Yeah, well,
and continue to pray, and they will show you.
Yeah.
Particularly ask Archangel Michael. And if you call to Archangel Michael before you pray, then you ask for proof and evidence from God, and we ask for a vision, right? And, God doesn't have to prove anything to us, but we humans seem to need a little nudge to make us believe we really know what we know and see what we see and feel what we feel. And, God is a benevolent God,
Yes.
and he will humor us in our little chaotic minds. So just allow yourself to experience it. And it is just an unfortunate thing. And if you were to pull your astrology, the transits for those particular times, it might have happened at the exact moment where some planet was squaring another planet, and because you happen to be moving in a particular way, that's what happened. And had you not gotten off the chair or not, decided to take a different route or do something differently, then you might have stubbed your toe instead of your arm, right? So we see it in the astrology all the time. Like people say, how did that happen, right? So unusual things happen when our planets come in contact in a particular way that is in opposition, and that opposition expresses itself, and it is part of our birth plan. So I know it's uncomfortable, and I know it creates a concern, but I know, because it is your money, it is your money year. We are supposed to be dealing with money, handling money, and increasing money, that there is a way to get yourself out of this. Even though you got yourself in a fine little mess that was out of your control, we understand, but we know it can be changed. So we ask you to believe that and
I'd
hold
already
that vision. Yes.
I'd already been in contact with the loan bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've already helped me the first time, and I feel like it's kind of getting played out. I feel like my loan officer isn't terrible, but I feel like the loan manager, I think she's a real shark, if you know what I mean. And I'm kind of afraid that it's going to make it more difficult.
Well, then you ask God to intervene.
So I'm right around the corner from potentially getting back to work and making money again.
Well, then you ask God to intervene on your behalf. And I would tell you, if I may, to pray Psalms 32, Psalms 34, 27, and 65. 32, 34, 27, and 65. This is so your words are heard well, and you're met with favorable results. And you pray that, and then you call and finalize whatever you need to finalize. It'll be all right. We appreciate
I'm trying to find a pen. I have a list of other psalms here somewhere, too. Okay, can I have the numbers again?
Surely. 32, 34, 27, and 65.
65, okay.
All right. We thank you so much for your call, Maria, and we know that all will be well.
Thank you.
And heal up.
Taking my call. You're wonderful.
Thank you. And take your fluids, and take your vitamin C and your zinc and all the other good vitamins that you know to take, and this too shall pass. Bye for now.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
866-972-7247. We're continuing to answer phone calls, but for this minute, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to you right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, heard on the True Oldie station. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you?
tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Welcoming your phone calls, and we're going to go back to the phone lines. And we've got Edwina, and Edwina is in Port St. Lucie. Edwina, how are you tonight? Are you there, Edwina? All right, perhaps we don't have Edwina, so we're going to move on, and we're going to go from Edwina in West Palm Beach and in Port St. Lucie, and hopefully she can connect with us again. Maybe she put her phone on hold and she's not by the phone, but we've got to go to West Palm Beach now from Port St. Lucie. I've got to go to Andrea. Andrea, how are you? Are you with us?
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you. Think of this year as a year. Think of this year as a year for you to stand strong in who you are, to understand your worthiness, and to put yourself first and for you to practice better self-care. This is about you this year. It's your turn to live life according to your plan, according to what I see for you in 2026. What's your question?
No, I was just calling to get a message of guidance and advice, and I do feel that. I feel like I'm out of the quicksand, the concrete, and that this is definitely a much better year.
It is a much better year, and I feel as if when I spin you back and I go back to 2024 into 2025, I just feel like, yeah, you were sludging around in the mud for a while, but I do feel that this year gives a new fresh energy for you. You have a better sense of purpose, and you can see things clearly so that you can make choices that match with the outcome that you desire. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, definitely.
What is the question or the comment that seeks guidance, please?
You see career-wise. Any advice on that?
Well, career-wise, I just feel like career has you in a box. And I don't feel that we are really where we feel the most content. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And when I look at how we can make a move, what we can do, I really feel the environment, first of all. Environment around you. Something seems off about the environment and how the inner workings of where you are. And I don't feel, when I see you in a box, I feel like the dysfunctionalism of it all isn't allowing you to handle the tasks that you're ideally equipped to handle. I feel like you're doing bits and pieces of other people's stuff for whatever reason. And when I look at the energy as far as what could come for you, we need to be able to grow. We need to be able to expand. We need to pop out of the box. And I feel like the powers that be around are just kind of minimizing your ability to expand. And so when we see that, we say, hey, perhaps we're not in the right environment. But we also say to you, perhaps you need to tweak the vision of what you want your career to look like. Because even if we took you from the box you're in and we placed you in another organization, I don't know that you would necessarily be completely treated differently, even if we had a different role, because of the type of work you do. So is there a different aspect of your role that you can focus on that would be more rewarding, more lucrative? Does this conversation make sense to you? Does it resonate with you?
I think the environment has to change first for the other to change.
Okay. So we got to pop out of the box, girl. And we got to get you somewhere else. Because I don't feel that they're letting you grow. I see you like the Jack in the Box. Da-da-da-da-da-da, pop goes Andrea. And then they're like, oh no, she's out of the box. Let's give her something else to do and keep her in this menial task. Poof, down you go.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So change. Now, again, we look before we leap. We know the market is shifting for the job market. So now that's why I want you really define what is the role you ideally want. I had said to someone else earlier tonight, and it applies to you. Write down all the aspects of the role, the ideal role for yourself. And does that mean we maintain the same job title, or is there, now with all of your experience, is there another job title we can shoot for? And you're at the perfect point in the journey from where I see you to make a shift in a career. And you're in the perfect place that when I fast forward you to 2030, good God, but I'm going to say it anyway, 2030, everyone, Andrea will be in a really pretty place financially by making the right choices this year. So we're setting ourselves up for this really powerful journey for our career that gives us a better sense of work-life balance, helps you embrace and recognize who you are and appreciate yourself, and this then spills over to your personal life, and then life begins to feel better once we make this change this year. So it's a perfect time for you.
And what about partnership? What do you see there?
This year, because it is a year of self-love, shifts your vibration to attract equal vibrational match love. But is there or was there, I see something about two people. Are there two people you're connected to, or somehow we're interacting with, or someone from the past and someone that we've just started talking to? They're showing me two people, and I am not sure what they mean by that.
So you're getting the past, which I just went through divorce.
Okay.
And you are probably picking up somebody, but I have not met them yet. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So there is someone else coming, right? So I see the past, and then I see new partnership coming, right? So, but we're still, even though we're finishing up the divorce, there's still those energetic cords, that sludge from the closing of a relationship, right? And this year is a good transformational year. If I were to place a timeline, which time is an illusion, so Spirit doesn't necessarily hold to that, but for us, they give us timelines so that we can feel comforted by a window of time. They bring me to the month of June, and they talk to me about June as being the catalyst for emotional connections that are in alignment with who you are and who you're becoming from this transition from the marriage to an independent, free person who is now in a place of, I choose who I desire.
Okay.
And so I would focus the first half of the year on fixing the environment you're in and changing the landscape for yourself so that you're more relaxed, and therefore we have a better opportunity to attract a better vibrational match partner because we're in a better state of relaxation. We're not in fight or flight. We're not in our masculine energy. We're in this energy of, I am a strong female, but I am feminine in who I am, and I am inviting a man to lead.
Yeah, I see that. I agree with that 100%.
Beautiful.
And then
yes,
a spiritual bath, like what would you suggest I do?
So it's always important, and I tell everyone, our aura, our energy is around everyone. And so imagine the lint filter in your dryer. And if we don't clean it, it kind of goes on fire, right? So to me, everybody, at least once a month, should be clearing their energy, minimum, because we're around so many people. And then depending on what is going on in our life. So, I would suggest a cleansing bath. I would suggest, I create baths at the center, right? So I would suggest break and remove. I would suggest sage clearance. I would then suggest an Archangel Michael bath, right? And so that's a recipe of 3 to clear, to break, and then to protect. Now we have a clean slate, a fresh canvas. Now we begin to bring forth all the energies. What is it that we're desiring? More abundance. We want our path to be open. So we do something for our path opener, right? And now we sustain ourselves in our prayers and our meditation, and we talk to God, and we tell God, we share it with God. What is the vision that I have for my life? And as we share the vision, we then embrace the energy of that feeling of connection.
If you aren't able to get to the store, like let's say if there's something at home you can use, is it like Epsom salt bath? Is it like sea salt or Himalayan salt?
Yeah, so I will answer that question too. But by the way, we ship regardless of where you are. So if you can't come to the Expedito Center, you just go online to sarahspiritual.com, and we have those goodies there, right? And they're not expensive. They're very reasonable. They're easy. But to me, for spiritual detoxification and physical detoxification, people should every week be taking an Epsom salt bath with some essential oils, matched with some sea salt and baking soda. And some people add some benzoate clay in there as well. It's all about detoxing, and it's also clearing your aura. To me, people should always be brushing themselves down, as if You know how we brush lint off our pants? We should start to the top of our head
Yes.
and brush ourselves down across our arms, our legs, our shoulders, put our hands on our back and brush ourselves down because things are clinging to our energy. We should never, ever, 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 ever put our clothes on the floor because then we're leaving our energy down. We're dropping our energy. It's so easy to do, too, right? You take your clothes off like, oh, and some people are like, I'll pick it up later, depending on how you like to sustain your household, right? So you should, right away, you should take it off and you should hang it up. You should put it there or put it to be cleansed because it's holding energy and you're bringing that energy into your home. And then people say, oh my God, I just feel so tired. Well, I can't stop feeling tired. You're feeling tired because you're carrying not just your own energy and your own funky thoughts, you've got other people's energy.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Well, I hope I've been of assistance to you, and thank you for your great questions, great conversation that you've offered us to not just enlighten you, but many who are listening. So I appreciate the questioning, Andrea.
Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate you too.
Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. Now, it's got to be chilly if I go from West Palm to Maine. So I got Gwen on the line. Hopefully Gwen's still there. Gwen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, Gwen. So let's start with how cold is it, honey?
It's like 8 degrees up here.
I'm so sorry. Are you supposed to get snow, too?
I think so. I don't watch TV, so I don't know. All I know is it's cold.
It's cold. Well, batten down the hatches. Our TVs seem to think some places above, well, anything's just about above Florida, but there are people on the earth and somewhere in the country that are going to get some snow, so batten down the hatches. And what is your question for us?
I can tell you it's only 64 degrees in my house, so.
Oh, my. Okay. Buck, well, get yourself all toasty warm best you can. Gwen, what is your question for us tonight?
Okay. So I have an offer on this house.
Yes.
Is it going to come to fruition?
And did you get this offer in this past week, please?
Yes.
Okay. And I see it as a reasonable, fair offer, correct?
Correct.
And they have a pre-approval letter, the people? They have funds available that you are aware of, yes? I feel like they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do feel that their intention is to move forward. We all know that there's all banking things that have to happen behind the scenes, and the banks do their due diligence, but I do feel that this can come to pass. There's no way that your former partner can interrupt this flow. Is that correct?
I don't believe he can. I'm the sole owner on this property.
Okay. Well, we know he's a little temperamental, so he's a little sneaky too, but I do feel that this is the person that you've been waiting for. And so you ask Archangel Michael to facilitate the documentation and the approval to make this be a fair and just, protected experience for you so that in the next 6 weeks, this can be completed.
Okay. So my next question is, am I going to find a place to live in time for my move to Connecticut? Or am I going to be living in a hotel?
Do we know anyone in Connecticut in case we need to land for a week or two? We do. I have plans to go to an extended stay hotel. Okay. But there also might be someone who could help you too. So I feel like you don't want to just land in Connecticut. We want to get ourselves in the right place. So once we know this process is, we have an offer, we're taking the offer. Now we have to go, there's a little bit of back and forth. We also have the inspection, right? So there's a few things on the list that have to get checked off.
Today.
Great. So as these things happen, right, and we check them off, now we buckle down and we get real serious and we say, okay, where am I going to go in Connecticut? And you've got to do your due diligence because you're in Maine and we can't just be popping over to Connecticut every other day, and get yourself an idea and some things lined up so that we can make that transition rather smoothly. And you ask the angels to help you and facilitate you. You've been held captive in this house for a very long time. Not that it's not something you love, but it's time to go. And based on where you are on your birthday, I will tell you that this year is and I think I mentioned this too when we talked last, that this year really represents finances and money, and it's the perfect year to have a financial transaction of selling a house and getting another place to live. So you are on track.
So am I going to like move into like a place that I buy, or am I going to move into like some place that I rent?
You may end up choosing to rent for just a little bit if you don't find what you want to buy immediately, right? So that's going to depend on the due diligence you do now to find yourself the perfect place.
Okay.
All right. For this minute, we have to go because we are ending the show, but I'm so glad I was able to catch you. Thank you so much, Gwen. And I know that I'm going to be praying for you, and I'm sure many people who are listening who don't want to see you in your 64-degree house freezing, that we want you to have the ability to release the past and move to your future. Thank you so much, Gwen. We appreciate your call and your following the show.
And your nails are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I love my nails, too. Thank you so much. I just love the color blue. Thank you so much for following the show. Bye for now.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Well, that's our show for tonight. We would love to connect with you next Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. In the meantime, visit sarahspiritual.com if you'd like a session with me, or you want to browse and see some of the items we have available online. But we have a full center in West Palm. Pop on into the Expedito Enlightenment Center. All the info's online. I'd love to see you there. For now, we thank you. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
WQAM 104.3 HD3 Miramar.